Welcome to the fifth lecture on transfer of technology through strategic alliance. In this lecture, I will concentrate more on implication on the stakeholder. Now, until now, I talked with you what is the strategic alliance. Then I have talked with you the contractual negotiation and contractual aspect. Then I have talked with you regarding the opportunities and the risks which is there in strategic alliance. Then I talk with you legal or regulatory compliances which you need to follow in case of strategic alliance. Now I am going to talk with you on implications of the stakeholders. Now, when you use the word stakeholder, we basically mean that the parties who are associated with this strategic alliance. So, until now whatever the lecture I have given to you, I have indicated strategic alliance means mainly the two party. One of the party who is bringing the technology, another party who is absorbing the technology. And then I have discussed with you the different forms which might come out of this particular strategic alliance. Now, I want to talk with you that how it is going to benefit or how it is going to impact on these stakeholder into this particular process. In doing that, what I did, I have basically divided the entire thing into couple of pointers. The first one is relating to the risk sharing. Now, possibly by now you could understand what the risks I wanted to talk with you. Now, in a strategic alliance or SA, the risks may be from the perspective of the finance, risks may be from the perspective of the political scenario, risks may be from the perspective of the geographical locations where you wanted to carry out the business, corruption, so much so forth. In my last lecture, I have elaborated on those particular issues. Now, whenever there is a parties in a particular business, the parties might have a capability or the risk bearing capacity for a particular type of risks. Let me explain a couple of them, so you could get a benefit out of this particular process. Now, a company which is a Switzerland company wanted to set up their business in India, and that particular company is not aware about the Indian market. Now, where they want to set up the company? They want to set up the company in West Bengal. Now, what are the risks, potential risks West Bengal might have? Potential risks West Bengal might have relating to a very strong labor union or very strong trade union. So, if that company comes in India and put up the factory here, they might face a lot of resistance from the local trade union. Like somebody was telling me, see, some of these European countries labor law are very flexible. In fact, it is very beneficial towards the labor. But even after giving the benefit also, there is a possibility that the local labor union want more than whatever these particular companies are promising, or they are asking something which is very absurd. Now, this is a risk, right? Now, how you are going to manage? So, you need to have a local partner who understand this particular labor market and who can able to manage this particular labor union, and they can really keep this particular trade union under the control or workmen into the track for the purpose of this business. So, what I am trying to talking about, understanding of the risks is sometimes you will find better with the party in that particular strategic alliance. Similarly, the person who is bringing the technology, he might avoid the risks better in R&D, because they are doing this particular R&D for a long period of time, and they know how to manage the risks into that particular R&D which is available. Or they might be aware better how to control the process risks into a particular production time, or they might be aware of how to control these foreign currency fluctuation risks when they are doing the business into the different market. So, what I am trying to talking about, whenever you are doing a business in case of strategic alliance, the risk is not a static issue, because I tried to indicate in the last lectures of mine that though there is a several kind of risks which you are going to find while you are doing the business, and then I said that it might be something which is predictable in nature, some of the risks which is not predictable in nature, and some of the risks which you need to keep on monitoring over the time. And then you should understand that who is going to better handle which kind of risks, and accordingly you basically share that particular risk between these two alliance partner, so that even if there is a something which you face in the future, it can be sorted out with a promptness, at the same time with the efficiency which might help in doing the business, or carrying the business in a much easier manner. Now, the next issue is relating to the cost sharing. Uh, you know, sometimes to enter into a particular industry or particular segment, the entry cost is very high. The entry cost is high because of the regulatory compliance, because of capital intensity which is required for establishing that particular production facility, because of the market structure, so much so forth. Take example, you want to manufacture a passenger jet. If you want to manufacture a passenger jet, your entry cost itself are very high, and many of the time, if it is in a particular newer market or unknown market, you need a partner who is going to share that particular cost. So, the cost sharing in a strategic alliance is quite important issue, and you should know how you are going to share this particular cost, because sometimes you will find, if you are domestic partner and you are basically bringing kind of a land, or maybe the raw material, or maybe labors into that particular thing, it is more effective, cost effective to you. Similarly, if your foreign partner bringing the technology, bringing the process, bringing the know-how, bringing the superior management technique, it will be easier for him. So, it will be less costly to that particular person, because he is already into that particular process. What he required to do, he required to shift that particular thing into this particular soil. So, the cost sharing is one of the very important thing in case of strategic alliance, and many of the time you will find the strategic alliance give a very cost effective solution through this particular sharing process, which is not possible by any existing company if they wanted to grow or in organic manner. Organic manner means they have to develop everything within their organization system, either it is a production or it is a product, or maybe the superior technical know-how. So, if they wanted to develop within this particular organization, it is become more cost, it is not cost effective. The third thing is that scale up economies. Many of the time you will find that because of this alliance, you can really expand the business the way you want to do the business, because if you can expand the business into a particular market in a horizontal manner, or maybe neighboring market in a horizontal manner, you can bring the benefit of the scale of economy to your customer, to your customers. So, like you will find these multinational retails which they are doing in the different market, because they are passing through this economic benefit to their customers, and that's the reason they became more and more popular to the customers, because people do try to get a better product in a cost efficient manner from any other business market. Similarly, this is true for the service providers, like those people who basically run the carriers, air carrier and all those things. You will find that if they can have a large number of the fleet, or they can have a business into the different market, or if they can have an alliance in a different market, they can produce in a much better manner. Similarly, scale of economics also helps in geographical location also, because if you have a more geographical reach, then in that case it bring down the cost of transportation through this particular scale of economy. So, scale of economies has a lot of benefit, which potential partners or both the partners can reap benefit out of this particular thing. The next one is a market power. Like you might find that your alliance partner might have a huge market power into a particular market where you do not have a existence. At the same time, you will find your foreign partner might have a particular market power in that particular country itself. Now, you will find in case of the automobile sector, please do use this particular market power very frequently. Like when in India, Renault wanted to start their business, what they do is they try to find out the auto major, Indian auto major, one of the Indian auto major like Mahindra, and they have started their joint venture or the strategic alliance and started producing the certain car. Because for the Renault, it was required to understand the Indian market, and they wanted to get this particular market power through their alliance partner, because by the time when they have entered into this strategic alliance, Mahindra has a lot of business in Indian automobile sector, and they are one of the very powerful car makers, or automobile maker in Indian market. So, through this process they could penetrate Indian market, they could get the learning about the Indian market, they could understand the customer preference relating to the car, they could understand the cultural preference relating to the car in Indian market, so much so forth. So, many of the time to understand or to get the market power, you need to have a local alliance, and these particular local alliance give you a better understanding of that particular market itself. And maybe after that, after that particular alliance is over, or the time of alliance is over, you can come independently into that particular market, because by the time you have your manpower, you have your establishment set up, you have your supply chain or delivery system set up, so much so forth. Now, next one is access to the specialized resources. Now, sometimes you will find the people do have a kind of a specialization into a particular area, and that particular area, that particular specialization is very proprietary to that particular company itself. And if you wanted to expand that particular market, then in that case you require to acquire that particular specialization into that particular market, and then in that case also the strategic alliance is very important. Like people say that, well, if you wanted to manufacture the helicopter in India, then you need to bring some technology which is very competitive, which is fuel efficient, and which is low maintenance. So, you might find this particular technology or this particular know-how is available with some particular the companies in some of the countries, it is not available worldwide. So, then in that case you need to access that particular resources, because that particular resources is available with them only. This is also true in case of the pharmaceutical, because you will find some molecules is available with some of the companies who has basically developed. This is also true in case of IT and ITS, IT infrastructure, IT product. You will find some of the people who has created kind of a market standard, or they have basically got all the technology within their fold, or if there is a technology which is developed in that particular area, been acquired by them. So, if you wanted to have that particular kind of technology or wanted to do the business into that particular domain, you need to have that particular expertise and specialized resources which is available into a particular group of people or particular organization or particular companies. So, accessing the specialized resources, the strategic alliance help you to get access into these particular specialized resources. The next important thing is the learning. Now, when I use the word learning, it's a wider connotation. Now, learning might be from the different aspect, like learning might be from the understanding of the market, learning might be the consumer behavior, learning might be how the people who are the part of your workforce behave particularly into a particular market. Learning might be relating to the demand of a particular product. Learning might be the socio-political environment of a particular market. Learning might be relating to relating to the business community's behavior pattern to their competitors. So, when I am talking about the learning, it is a pretty wide area of understanding, pretty wide area of the understanding, and there you need to understand that how your competitor into that particular market do behave if you wanted to do a successful business. And that particular learning become pretty easy if you are going to take a local partner with your business. Like if you look into the recent some of the strategic alliance, you will find that Tata has joined with Singapore Airlines, and there is another local partner with this particular airlines, and they have started with a group called Vistara. And they have basically chosen this particular local partner because Singapore Airlines chosen this particular local partner because they wanted to learn about the Indian market pattern. And these are the two people who are quite knowledgeable about the Indian market scenario, and for that matter relating to the aviation market too. So, for getting learning, maybe another example I can give, like when the Walmart wanted to enter in Indian market, they do the partnership with the Bharti because they wanted to have a learning about Indian way of doing the business, because India has a very peculiar way of doing this particular business, and India do have a lot of business custom which varies from the different which varies in the different state. So, if you wanted to really understand the Indian market, then you need to have a local partner to enter into, and this is not only in India, this is true for all over the world. Like if you want to do the business in Europe, then possibly you need to have a local partner in all the European countries, because Europe do have a lot of variation into the culture, behavioral pattern, customer behavior, customer need, and possibly you will appreciate this particular fact that culture play a lot of role in businesses. So, one should have a good learning capacity, or one should be flexible to learn about the particular market, and as quickly as you learn, you will have a better advantage to position yourself into this particular market. And that's the reason, if you are going to take take a alliance into a local market, it is easy for you to do this particular thing. And for that matter, let me tell you, if you get your local partner into that particular market, it is also cost effective in from the perspective of the learning, because many of the knowledge you don't learn, many of the thing you don't learn through your mistake, because sometimes mistakes are very costly. So, you should be careful I mean, you should be careful in your approach. At the same time, if you get somebody who is a local partner, this will help you into this particular learning process. Now, the last one is relating to the option on new market opportunities, and this is only can be held by those particular people who has a deep understanding about that particular market itself. Like, you want to bring kind of a new technology into a market which is going to affect the people's regular habit, and what is that opportunity to bring that particular technology, because it might so happen that your technology might be very superior, it might be cutting edge, but it is not been accepted by the people, maybe because of the complexity which you have this particular technology, or maybe people are accustomed with a particular technology is so much that people are not interested for any alternative technology or efficient technology or better technology to bring it into this particular market. Let me give you example. In Indian market, you will find people has chosen GSM in a better manner than that of a CDMA technology. I have been given I have been given the understanding by my friends who are the technologists that CDMA technology is a better than GSM technology. But in India, you will find the people like GSM technology, and when I was asked some of the people who are basically trader in the mobile market, they said, see, GSM gives a lot of flexibility to the people to right from changing their handset or changing their feature than that of a CDMA technology, and that's the reason people are strict with this particular GSM. So that's what I'm trying to drawing your attention. Many of the time you have to understand that what are the opportunities available or new opportunities available into that particular market. It is not necessary that if you can bring the better technology, it will be accepted by the people, and that particular new opportunity can be given, or can be clarified by your local partner better if you are entering into a new market. So what I want to draw your attention into this particular lecture, that there is a potential benefit if you wanted to enter into the alliances, strategic alliances, and it basically is out you're doing the business into a new market. At the same time, it is also help the domestic player to get the edge over their competitor into that particular market itself. So thank you for your patience hearing.